Okay, what I want to do is I want to give you basically a crash course on why we created this company called myEcon. Now, you may have joined us. Maybe you saw a video on TikTok. Maybe you saw a video on other social media, and maybe it was about credit repair, or maybe it was about something about the minimizing taxes with the W-4. But I want to give you a full picture of why you need to have this membership. Everyone in America should be using this membership. Now, when you start to see exactly what it is we do and what the problem is that Americans have with their cash flow and their finances, you'll see that you made one of the best decisions that you could have made by joining myEcon. So I'm going to get right into it, and I start this with saying, why does myEcon exist? To build income for life. So there's no time in your life that you're not going to want and need income. So the quicker we figure out how to get income, even when we're not working, I think is the better. But we have to have a strategy for doing that. So let's talk a little bit about what the problems exist for people trying to do this, why they don't get to personal financial success, and I'm going to show you how myEcon can make it work for you. Okay? So let's talk a little bit about what personal financial success is. Okay? A lot of people think it has a lot to do with your lifestyle. So they think because they have a nice home, they have a nice car, maybe they even have what is called a good job, they think that, oh, I have financial success. That's not quite true. You have a lifestyle, but that does not equate to financial success. So let's talk a little bit in general terms about what that means to myEcon, okay? Number one, you have a issue, okay? You're trying to build income two ways in your life. Number one, you're going to work for income. And number two, you're going to have what is called your financial freedom years. These are the years where you don't work, but still have income coming in and you're doing what you want to do. We call that the American dream, okay? So your income is going to come from two sources. It's either going to come from a job or it's going to come from a business, maybe even a combination of both. Now, in this example, we're talking about $75,000 per year. Now, you might make more or you might make less. It does not matter. The mechanics of what I'm talking about still works the same way, and the numbers will just change equivalent to that. Okay? So let's take a look at this job. As you can see, you're already at a disadvantage starting out the gate. Why? Because when you get a check from your job, you don't get 100% of the check. Okay? So taxes are taken out of that check to the tune of 25% in this example. So your gross income would be $6,250. Your net income would be $4,700. But I want you to see something, okay? Your bills are based on money that you never see. So if you went down and bought a car or bought a house, they would make your bills based on what? Your gross income. That would be the $6,250. But you only have $4,700. If someone continues to make bills on your gross income and not your net, which is money that you never see, eventually you're going to have some financial issues, aren't you? So that's the first setup, in my opinion, that happens to Americans. But now also, when you go over here to the right, you got your business income. Here's what's different. You get all your money up front, no tax are taken out. And then you decide what you're going to pay in taxes based on business deductions. Well, you don't do that over here on the job. You make money on the job, taxes come out first, and then you got your expenses. In business, you make the money, no tax are taken out, then you have your expenses, and depending on how you spend the money, and if you spend all the money up, if you don't spend all the money up, you pay taxes on that. Those are two entirely different worlds, and that's how America works. So what we want to do is make you aware and understand how to play the game in capitalism, okay? Because no one has ever taught us this in most cases. Now, the question you want to ask yourself is, okay, if I have $75,000 a year today that I work for, how many income producing assets down here in column B do I need to replace that? But as a rule of thumb, you need at least 10 to 20 times what you make in a year. Now, what are income producing assets? Stocks, bonds, real estate, okay, 401k, IRA. Your myEcon business is an asset. You bought the income shifting membership, but guess what? It also is a business that can make you money passively. Now, passive income means you don't physically have to work for the income every day or every month. This is very important. You want to have enough passive income to replace your day-to-day income in column A. This is what we call financial success. See, retirement is not an age. It is when you have enough money to do it. See, I fired my boss and retired from the corporate job at 34. Okay, I had enough money to do it. So it's not about 65 or 75. It's whenever you got enough money. So if you got $750,000 in assets, if you get a 10% rate of return, that's the same $75,000. So you have replaced your column A income. And if your lifestyle can fit inside $75,000, you have financial success. Okay? But if you get a lesser rate of return, see, the higher the rate of return, the more financial education or financial literacy you will need. Okay? So if you got $1 million here and you only get 7.5%, then of course you got $75,000 again. So the asset was bigger, but the rate of return was less. That's why I say 10 to 20 times. 1.5 million, okay? But you only get 5% rate of return. That's still the same 75,000. See, most of you and many people that I've talked to, and I've talked to tens of thousands of people all over this country, they didn't know they needed $1 million to $1.5 million just to stop working and have the same life they have today. They did not know this. And if you don't know what the end result of straight looks like, it's going to be impossible for you to get there, guys. So this is inherently what you see on your screen, what we're trying to do. Trying to make some income in column A so we can live and do the stuff we want to do. But sometime down the road, we want to have enough assets, including your myEcon business, that pays you X amount of dollars. And if it's enough of those dollars to replace your income, now you have financial freedom. You got money to live how you want to live, and you got the time to do it because you don't have to work. This is what we call personal financial success in myEcon. Now let's take a look at why most people don't get there. In this country, they will allow you to have something called debt to income, payments on things, okay? Now, they will allow you up to 45% debt to income on your gross income. Remember that gross, the $6,250. So let's take into account some things here. A mortgage, a car payment, some credit cards, student loans, and some furniture. These are not out-of-the-box things, ladies and gentlemen. These are things that everybody does, right? Now, these numbers are not big numbers either. These are actually, I would say these are relatively smaller numbers, lower numbers, okay? Now, look at this. Look at what happened here. Look at where you are so far. The first thing that happened was taxes came out of your check. That was 25%. Then they allowed you to have these 45% in payments. Now you add that together, this is now 70% of your income that's already gone. You've barely just gotten started. You're fresh out of college. You know, you got you a decent job, right? Even if your credit is good, you're paying everything on time. What I want to show you is you can do everything that's assumed to be right and still end up with financial failure. You're paying all these bills on time, okay? Let's take it one step further. You got some other things that you're paying every month. These are recurring expenses. That's about another 25, 26% of your income. Take a look at this. We got some utility payments. In the summertime, you got the air conditioning running and all your other stuff. In the wintertime, you got the heat going and all your other stuff. So about $350, right? Let's take a look at the home, internet, and cable stuff. You know, $145 on average there. Insurance for the car, $135 a month here. We got food, okay? Food is going up. Inflation is going up, right? Okay, auto gas, that's going up. Your cell phone for a couple of people. My cell phone bill's at $200 and some odd dollars now. I'm like, how did it get so high? So these numbers are very low, in my opinion. Now let's take a look at how it ended up. 25% went where? Taxes. 45% went where? DTI. 26% went where? On these recurring expenses. Take a look at this, guys. You're at 96% of your income. Your income is gone. And there's many things that we have not done yet, okay? Let's take a look at this. There's some other lifestyle expenses that aren't even included. How much came out of your check for health insurance? Child care, I hear that's $250, $300 a week on average. Okay, daycare. Entertainment, you know, you're doing things like barbecues and, you know, Easter dinners, and that's all entertainment, right? How much is that? Personal items, getting your hair done, getting your nails done. Guys, getting your hair cut. Stuff like that. That's personal items. How much is that? You probably need another 20% just to handle these things, guys. Now look at something here. You got 25% that went to taxes. You got 45% went to debt to income. That's the mortgage, the car notes, the credit card, student loans. You got 26% that went to just recurring expenses, things that you cannot pay off, but you pay them every month. These are your utilities and all that kind of stuff. Then you got some other little things that just happen and pop up that you got to do, 20%. You're at 116% of your income that you spent. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know you're like, well, John, wait a minute. How can I spend more than what I got? Very easily. Every time you run short on cash, what you do is you pull out the credit card. You pull out the Capital One. You pull out the American Express. And you use that to float you till you get paid again. And you're spending 116% of your income. That's how that happens. And that'll go like that for years, and you'll look up and you'll have $8,000, $10,000, $15,000 in credit card debt, and you're wondering, how did I get here? See, guys, this happens every day. Now, look at this. We haven't talked about retirement savings. How much is that? We probably didn't put anything in the 401k. Okay? Charitable contributions. Did you give anything to the church? Did you give anything to save the children or whatever? I think we should do some form of charitable contributions. Emergency funds. Did you put money aside just in case you have an emergency? 95% of the people I know have no emergency fund. They don't. You're supposed to have at least 3 to 6 months of living expenses. In my opinion, I think you need about a year of living expenses. So if it costs you $36,000 a year to live on your bills, then you need to have $36,000 sitting inside of an emergency fund, just in case something go wrong, the economy go bad. Maybe they don't give you any stimulus. Maybe they don't give you any unemployment. Now what? See, we got to be prepared, guys. Okay? So let's take a look at what we need here. We got $6,250. That's our gross income. Let's go ahead and give 10% to charity. Let's say that's the church. Let's give 10% to retirement. That's the 401k. Now let's take care of the DTI. That's the household debt. That's the $2,800. Let's deal with our recurring expenses. That's the $1,650. Let's put $250 a month in our emergency fund like we should do. Let's take that $1,250 that we need for additional lifestyle. And let's pay our taxes, because Uncle Sam wants us to pay some taxes. Take a look. You $2,500 in the hole if you do everything you should do. And most people try to fix this by saying, hey, I'm going to go back to school and get me another degree. Is that new degree, whenever you do get to it, is that going to pay you an extra $2,500 per month to $3,000 per month to fix this? I don't think so. Okay? They say, well, I'm going to work me some overtime. In that overtime, is it going to be an extra $2,500 to $3,000 per month to fix this issue? I don't think so. They say, well, I'm going to get me a second job. I know they're not going to pay $2,500 a month on a second job because you only got so many hours in a day. And then people say, well, I'm going to get me a different job. There's no guarantee it's going to be $2,500 more to $3,000 more per month income. So we got an issue, guys. The only way out of this is to control one of our biggest expenses, and that's going to be these taxes here. See, because of myEcon, you may be able to cut these taxes by 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, maybe even 100%, depending on the situation. If you had this $1,500 back into your budget, you could do something with that. So here's what myEcon does. We said start a part-time business or full-time business with us, and you get the income shifting membership. So that's what you did. You started a business with us, and now you got the ability to income shift, and you got the ability to make money. Because you started a business with us, you got the ability to do step one, minimize your taxes using tax deductions. Now, most people, and this is why this is important, you got to understand that myEcon is more than credit repair. See, most people have saved $200 to $1,000 per month within 10 to 14 days on their taxes by just joining us and following the step one process. So now let's say that's $400 a month back into your paycheck. What could you do with that? I want you to write that number down, $400 a month. Now remember, you got involved maybe because you want to improve your credit. So now let's also do the credit repair process. In 90 to 180 days, you're going to have 100 points on your score, right? Now you're going to go to excellent credit in most cases. So now you can refinance your car if you need to, save $100 a month on that. You can refinance your home if you need to, save a couple $100 a month on that. You can take all of your credit cards, transfer them to a 0% interest credit card because now you got excellent credit. Okay, for the next 18 months, you're going to save $100, $200 a month on that. And you're going to save on car insurance rates. So let's say this is another $200 a month on average. So we got $400 a month from step 1. We got $200 a month from step 2. What can we do with that money? We got a couple options. We can spend it. I don't know if that's the wisest idea. Or we can take it and put it on step 3, debt elimination. Imagine taking extra money and putting it on your debts. You'll pay them off faster. I'm going to show you how that would work in a second. And then, of course, when we pay off 1 or 2 debts, that might give us another $400 or $500. We got about $1,000 now or more in cash that we can now do in step 4, which is invest. Put into our investment account, put into our 401k, put it into our IRA. This is what we mean by income shifting. We're shifting dollars from other places and now bringing them back to your home that you can now use to build your assets. Why do you need assets? Because you need to build something that will pay you without you working. This is the ultimate goal of financial success. And then, of course, by you having a business that you can now share this with others, right? At the push of a button in our app, you can share this. Guess what? Now you can make money by people using this system. Now, just look at your screen. Doesn't everybody you know need to see this, need to understand how this works? Yes, they need step 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then they buy the income shifting membership from you on your website, you get paid. If they keep the membership long term, you get paid long term. It's a great deal, okay? Let's continue. Got a couple things I want to show you, okay? Then you can invest in all these different things here. Okay, let's get past this. This is just talking about growing incomes. We're going to keep moving here. We're going to keep going here. I want to get here to talk about taxes. See, I want to show you something real quick. On the left, this is what most people do. So they got income of $70,000 on one job. They said, I need some more money. So what they did is they went and got a part-time job, make $5,000 extra a year. So they got roughly $75,000 in income. Now, they are a married couple, filing jointly. So that's what that standard deduction means on the left, $25,100. So what happens when the IRS figures out how much you owe in taxes, they take your standard deduction from your gross income, and whatever's left, that's your taxable income. Well, in this example, their taxable income is $49,900. The taxes owed is $69,78, roughly $7,000. Now, they had the W-4 filled out wrong. This is why you need to do the W-4. So they overpaid their taxes by a couple of $1,000. So they had $9,000 come out and go over to the IRS throughout the year. And then when they filed their taxes, they got a $2,000 refund. But I want to show you something. Let's get into myEcon and see how it's different. You got into myEcon. You still had your same job of $70,000. We're on the right now. Instead of having a part-time job, now we have a part-time business. We still make the same $5,000. So that's still $75,000 total income. But we still get the same $25,100 in standard deduction, married filing joint. But because now we have a business, we can file something called a Schedule C. A Schedule C is just some deductions that you can get on expenses that you cannot get as an employee. This is important. Because you're in myEcon, you can file a Schedule C. Things like driving your car can go on a Schedule C. You get 57 cents a mile or something like that. You can pay interest on your car note. You're going to do it on both sides, right? But it now becomes tax deductible if you use that car in your business, which you would be doing. What about paying your cell phone bill, paying your internet bill? Those things now go on to Schedule C. Going out to eat, you're going to do that anyway, but that could go on to Schedule C as a business meal. Traveling, you are already going to go to Florida, but now you're doing it in your business. Now it's a $2,000 or $3,000 business trip as opposed to a vacation. See, there's a difference. This is why you need the myEcon business. Please don't think that this is just about you going to fix your credit and you out, because it's way more than that. And then, of course, you got children. You can pay them up to $12,000 a year on expenses. Things like school clothes, spending money, cheerleading camp, graduation, all these things that they do, right, that we have to pay for, up to $12,000 a year. So easily we got $20,000 in business deductions here on things that we were going to do anyway. But we could not do it on the other side. Now instead of our taxable income being $49,000, look, it's now $29,009. Let me ask you a question. Are taxes on $29,000 less than tax on $49,000? Yes. Look at the taxes owed, $32.40. We still had the same W-4 filled out wrong here, so we got $57.60 in a refund. That's about $6,000. Now, if I take $57.60 refund, and then I divide that by 12, that's $480 per month. If you now go and fill out a new W-4 with your upline myEcon person, they'll help you with this. Now you fill out the W-4 and put your expenses on here. Guess what? You get $480 a month back into your paycheck based on not overpaying and your home-based business. What could you do with that extra $480? Remember, when I talked about income shifting, I did $400, right? So we got $480 in this example. Let's keep moving. Now let's take a look at this deal. We got our net income, $4,700. We minimized our taxes. We recaptured some by $600 here. We minimized expenses, improved our credit. We got $450. Business income, part-time, we make $2,000 a month. Now, you don't just look up on that. You got to do a little work, but we're going to help you. We have a system. We're going to talk about the turnkey system on this. So your new net income is $77.50. You still did your tithes and offerings and all this stuff here. We go all down through this. But now we got $900 down here through eliminating debt. Now look at this. We're going to free up $3,700 for cash flow and lifestyle investments when we get debt free. This is how that looks. So our software system is going to put all your debts in order. So remember, we got $900 extra in cash. So it's going to put your debts in order, which one to pay off first. So we pay off the first deal, which is the furniture. We got a $500 minimum payment. What we do is we take the extra $900 through income shifting and add it with the $500 payment on the first debt. Do you see that? In 9 months, the $12,000 furniture is paid off. Now, on month number 10, we just move the $500 that was going towards the furniture and the $900 that we added from income shifting. We add that $1,400 to the car payment of $500. Now the $18,000 car is paid off in another 9 months. So we 18 months into the game, and we paid off $30,000 of debt with income shifting. This is why you need the whole program. See, you got to get debt free. You got to get these people off your back. What they say, get the monkey off your back. This is what we're doing here in myEcon. Look at the credit card, paid off in 7 months. Look at the student loan, paid off in 8 months. Look at the house, the mortgage, paid off in 45 months. That's less than 4 years. Did you hear me? That's less than 4 years. We paid off $229,000 in debt in 78 months, freed up all the cash from those payments plus the income shifting. We got now a net $3,700 back into our pocket that we can now use to get to financial freedom because we have no debts. We have great cash flow. We're paying minimum taxes. Now myEcon has changed your total life and your total outcome in finances, your financial outcome or your financial picture. So I hope you learned something today about what we do here. It's a process. You don't do it all at once. We have a software system that sets this up for you. Don't worry about that. But definitely use myEcon to the fullest and let's change your life. Today is a great day to fix your finances.